Welcome back. In this video, what we're going to do is find an equation of an ellipse given its vertices and its foci, and we will also sketch its graph. So this ellipse is centered at the origin, and it's either got this major form if it's got a major axis that is horizontal, or this form if its major axis is vertical. The way we tell is by looking for where the bigger number is located. Well, we can't just look at the equation and tell because we're going to write the equation ourselves. But what we can do is just plot the vertices which are given, right? The vertices of the ellipse are at plus or minus 4, comma 0. So that's over here at 4, 0 and negative 4, 0. And the foci are given at plus or minus 2, comma 0. There's a focus. Let's put F for focus, F for focus, V for vertex, V for vertex, right? And so we are not given the value of B. We'll have to find that. But that does tell us that the major axis is horizontal because the x coordinates of both the vertices and the foci have a number for its x-coordinate and 0 for its y. So the major axis is the x-axis, which then tells us that the major axis is horizontal. So we're going to be using this version of the equation of an ellipse, the x squared over a squared version plus the y squared over b squared is equal to 1. So we can now use the given a. The a value is always the number of the vertex. That's in distance from the center over to the vertex, which is given to be 4, right? So we are given that a is 4, and c is the focus, right? So c is the distance from the center to either foci, so c is 2, and we can use the special equation which we derived in an earlier video, which says that c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. And we can use that to solve for b so that we can write the equation and then sketch the graph. So we can plug in 2 for c. Actually, let's just go ahead and square it. So 2 squared is 4. So 4 is equal to a squared. A is 4. So a squared is 16 minus b squared. So if I subtract 4 from both sides and add b squared to both sides, we're going to have b squared equals to 12. So b is equal to the square root of 12. So that's enough for us to write the standard form of the equation. So our equation would be of the form x squared over a squared, which is, we already said 16, plus y squared over b squared, right there, b squared is 12, is equal to 1. And now we may want a small little approximation for square root of 12, which would be, let's get our calculator here. There we go. Okay, so bringing in that, we have, let's see, the square root of 12 is approximately 3.46, about 3.5 will be close enough for graphing. So on the y-axis, we're going to go up to about 3.5 and down to negative 3.5. And to sketch the ellipse, we're just going to do our best to sketch in. It's almost circular, but just barely stretched a little bit. But we're really just graphing a stretched circle here, going through those points. Remember the foci, even though they're not on the graph, those are the special points which give us the geometric definition of an ellipse, which is that the sum of the distances from any point on the ellipse to one focus, and that distance plus that distance from to the other focus, the sum of those two distances is equal for any point on this ellipse.